Man, with me I got wings. You gon' step in my ship. You gon' mess with the king.
Welcome to more Fanime. What's up, everybody? Today I want to review chapter 1075 of the One Piece manga. We are currently deep within the Egghead Island arc, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This chapter was not my favorite, possibly my least favorite from this arc so far, because it was pretty, I don't know how I'd say it, it was like hyper focused on what the crew was doing. And Oda has set up so many threads that are all going on at the exact same time. With Law versus Blackbeard, with Kizaru and Saturn of the Five Elders on their way to Egghead Island. Doflamingo is still nowhere to be seen. And there's more that I just can't think of on the spot here, but he has set up so many different moving parts right now going on in the One Piece world that, and Vivi being with Big News Morgan, so many things that I feel uninterested in what the crew is doing right now. And I almost wish they would have shown us a little bit more. It really didn't feel like it was a long enough chapter with what's going on right now. He's really pulling that taffy, baby. I didn't hate this chapter. I feel like we wait so long sometimes in between breaks on chapters that I'm just like losing my mind. I'm not even sure if there is going to be a chapter next week. Please comment down below and let me know, because God, I hope so, because I really don't want to wait 2 weeks for more answers to my questions. We have so many things going on right now in the One Piece world that I just am sick and tired of fighting Seraphim. And that's really all this chapter was about, was the fact that the Seraphim have turned on the Straw Hats yet again. They have been flip-flopping more than Big Show from WWE. Good guy, bad guy, who knows who's in control of the Seraphim right now? Because God knows we don't, the readers. There's a lot of theories out there. I'd love to know your guys's, because I'm running out of ideas. I think that this chapter began with the cover story, the Germa 66 excursion, which continues to be mostly a backstory now about Dr. Vegapunk. And from what I've heard, it's because Oda didn't feel like he could fit this backstory within the actual chapters, so he's using the cover story as a way to do it. Which is fine. It's getting a little old as well, since it's still continuing from the Germa 66 cover story, even though at this point, Judge wasn't even on this one, and he's the only one connected to Germa 66, if you think about it real quick. This really should just be a Vegapunk cover story. They should have ended the Germa 66 part once they got Caesar back to their area. And when Caesar and Judge were fighting, that's where that should have ended. Yet another story thread that's going on right here, right now. And, I'm a little sick of it, but this one shows Mr. Vegapunk auditioning to be part of the world government, to be the head scientist for the Gorosei, for the celestial dragons. You know, he probably wants that funding, that moolah, because as he said in the past, he doesn't believe anybody else could give him the kind of money he needs to create the experiments and the scientific advancements that he wants to make happen. And that's exactly what he does, and it's again one of those things we already know. We know he somehow joined the world government. I don't really give a shiz if he auditioned for it or what. It's fine. Maybe it's just because I'm reading this now week to week that I need more information and I hate waiting, that I'm just like, ugh, this cover story is not that intriguing right now. And now that we know what Vegapunk looks like, it's not as exciting when we see him again. It's kind of just getting old. Maybe I'm just not looking into the fine details. Comment down below, let me know what your thoughts on this chapter are, because it kicks off with the crew running around, still looking for old Vegapunkski. Somebody stole our baby Vegapunk, not sure if he's still in his baby form. We don't even get to see what Bonnie's doing. Another big thread that's actually part of the current thing going on right now in the Egghead Island, and we don't get to see more of Kuma's backstory, where I'm just like, come on, Oda, just tell us. It can't be as cool as you keep making it out to be. It's probably just really sad, as we saw a little hint of it last in chapter 1074. We saw a teeny little taste of what Kuma's backstory is going to be, and it seems pretty sad. I mean, I hope it's as amazing as it is possibly going to be, but at this point, he's been teasing this backstory, and with Bonnie running around acting like a total crazy woman, trying to threaten Vegapunk's life and whatnot because of her father and wanting his humanity back and all that shit. I'm just ready. I'm ready for a big backstory. Give it to me. Let me have it. Let me chew on it for a few weeks. Just drop a couple chapters in 1 week. Don't wait 2 weeks in advance. Come on, baby. Just bring it, Oda. I'm ready. I'm so sick of waiting. I'm so ready to get off of Egghead Island. It was fun for a while. I am ready. And at the same time, I really want to see Kizaru show up and start kicking ass. I want to see Kizaru show up and murder some motherfuckers. In this same arc, Oda has teased so many deaths, including Sentomaru, and one of the Vegapunks was blown up last chapter, and last chapter we found out Sentomaru is alive and in control of 50 pacifistas. And in this chapter we find out Pythagoras, one of the Vegapunks who was supposedly blown up, threw his head off so he could survive, and it looked like his body was fine too. I don't know. Is he even a clone, or is he a robot at this point? I thought they were clones of Vegapunk. Maybe there's just a little piece of his brain in there. Are they mostly cyborgs? They're mostly cyborgs, probably with a chunk of, Vegapunk's brain in there. And there's another thing. We find out in this chapter that the Seraphim have once again switched sides. Someone has commanded them to attack and destroy the Labophase and the people in it. The Straw Hat crew, the other Vegapunks. It seems that is their goal. In this chapter, York gets turned to stone by the cuteness of the Love Mellow Love Fruit by the Seraphim version of Boa Hancock. So it doesn't have to be that they're lusting after Boa Hancock. As long as they think she's cute, they can use that to turn people into stone, and that's exactly what this little girl clone is doing, turning giant-ass York, who's huge, by the way. I mentioned it last chapter, but Jesus, she big, into stone, and attacking the crew. The crew is split up, kind of like the Scooby-Doo gang. They are running around just looking for Vegapunk. No worries there, but we find out that there's a traitor amongst the Vegapunks. As theorized last week, it says we're not sure who it is yet. No answers there. The only person it really can be is probably Shaka. I'm starting to think it has to be Shaka, because even Lilith was there going, "What's going on? Stop attacking us, Seraphim." And they keep trying to command them, and they're not turning, so it must be a Vegapunk. The only other option would be a member of the Gorosei, and at the same time, it's like, come on, Vegapunk. You built these things. Did you not have a kill switch? Come on. And I think there should be some kind of kill switch, something to turn them off completely, because they are more trouble than they're worth. What was the point of building these death machines? You already had 50 Mark III pacifistas to give to the government. I don't know what his end game is, and maybe by the time this arc is over, we'll completely understand it, but these Seraphim are going to be such trouble at the end of the war. If one of the Vegapunks has turned on the original Vegapunk, the Stella body, we're going to have some trouble, because they're going to take complete control of the Seraphim and have an army of the strongest humans, as Lilith says in this arc. She's like, I made them to be the strongest. We don't stand a chance. I really do hope that Frankie and Usopp and Nami, by the way, finds a bunch of man-made jewels in this arc. Woohoo! Yippee! Great for Nami. We get to see Sanji simping once again for... And it's a funny bit, but they've been doing it for years. And, after Sanji's amazing backstory arc in Whole Cake Island. It's just kind of old hat seeing him simping for, what's her damn name? Stussy. Stussy's just like, help me find Vegapunk and I'll call you a dog. As Sanji says, like, please call me your dog, your slave, whatever Sanji wants to be. He is into that BDMSM, whatever you want to call it. And that's what Sanji wants, and that's great. But it's just so on the surface level character development for the crew, and they are fully developed, but I'm just like, come on, Oda. We've been on this road for a while. We're in the final saga. Let's get going, buddy. There's so many other things I want to see. I want to see Eustace Kid arriving finally at, actually meeting some of the giants at Elbaf. That's the kind of thing I want to see. That's another story thread that's been dangling in front of our faces. So many more important, more exciting things are happening outside of Egghead Island that I would rather see than what's going on here with this crazy manhunt of who did it, who turned on the Vegapunks. I'm almost 100% sure it's not Caribou. I do believe Caribou is not smart enough to be the guy who is under control of the Seraphim or found a way to control them. So it's not him. He's not the traitor. He might have been the one to turn off the shield or turn on the shield of the Labo phase, but at this point I doubt it. I think the only thing that we might have found out in this arc is maybe Caribou has been feeding information to old Big News Morgan, but that's about it for Mr. Caribou. God, I hate that guy. I really hope they get rid of him and just move along, buddy boy. God, I'd rather see Carrot. Why isn't Carrot here? The crew gets attacked by the Seraphim, as mentioned. Two of them show up, S-Bear and S-Hawk. They show up and they challenge Sanji. Or no, actually they were after CP0. Yes, they were after Lucci and they were after Kaku, and Zoro stands in the way and says, no siree Bob. These two here, not my friends at all, but I will not allow you to kill them while they're, handcuffed with Sea Prism Stone. It just will not sit well with me. And as they're escaping the explosions happening by the Seraphim, you see Lucci and Kaku say, hey, Zoro, Luffy, let us go. Take off these handcuffs, and we'll help you fight the Seraphim. And I'm just like, I think that Luffy and Zoro can handle a Seraphim apiece. I don't think they need their help. Don't unlock their keys. That's what I would say, personally. They don't need their help here. They're going to turn on you immediately after, I would have to assume. I mean, at the beginning of this arc, when CP0 showed up, I thought, well, after seeing the CP9 cover story where they turned on the world government, and then later finding out they actually rejoined the world government and joined the CP0 faction, and are now the Celestial Dragon's right-hand men, the bodyguards of the Celestial Dragons, I thought, well, maybe the CP0 are secretly, Kaku, Lucci, and the original CP9, maybe they are secretly infiltrating the government so eventually they can turn on them and turn the tables and whatnot. But it turns out that they're really just their dogs, and they hold a grudge against the Straw Hat crew to begin with. So at this point, I'm kind of like, too little too late. CP0, I don't think you should be helping the Straw Hat crew, and even if you did, how much help would you even be? Unless you're holding them off so that the Straw Hat crew can escape, but then you're really turning on the government, and now you're going to be on the run. What's going to happen there? What side really is the CP0 on? I wouldn't let them out personally. I think after everything they did, if it wasn't for them, the crew would already be on the road to the next island, to go into Elbaf, saving Law, whatever their next goal might be. They might be on that road. They would have Vegapunk with them and they'd be out of there. But because of CP0, they've been held up. And now they can't even find Vegapunk, and there's some secret villain there. I can't imagine who it could be. I really would like to know. It has to be someone we have never met before. Has to be. Stussy's on our team, so it's not her. It has to be someone, maybe a member of Blackbeard's crew. Maybe, now that I think about it, maybe Shiryu with the clear fruit is invisible, and he's going around destroying all the Den Mushis who, you know, the snail cameras, which is shown in this chapter, and maybe it is a member of Blackbeard's crew we haven't seen in a while, and he's running around, maybe with the girl with the 9-tailed fox fruit, who can also turn invisible, and they've been with us the entire time. Maybe they've been watching CP0 for a while, and since they arrived on the island, they've been just kind of hanging back, waiting for their very moment to capture Vegapunk. I mean, as you know, Blackbeard captured Pudding, captured Kobe, might have all of Law's crew, or at least Law captured. Why not add Vegapunk to his, you know, prison of awfulness? I don't know. That could be what Blackbeard's doing. He's collecting important people that he can use as leverage down the line. Very possible. That's my theory right now. It's Shiryu with the power of the clear fruit. He's been here the whole time. It's the only way I could imagine someone avoiding detection in this island. It's the only way they could have done this, is Shiryu has been running around. I can't imagine anybody else, unless it's someone we've never met before. Maybe someone from Goldie Roger's crew that we've never met before. We don't know their abilities. We don't know how fast they are. We don't know if they have a devil fruit that makes them undetectable. We just see a shadowy figure this chapter, destroying a Den Mushi. And now they have no surveillance. Vegapunk is nowhere to be seen. Bonnie is nowhere to be seen, you know, surfing the memories of her father. I'm just ready to be out of this arc. I'm ready to be out of this arc. I still want Kizaru and Saturn to show up and cause absolute havoc. I want to see some good fights. You know, it's been a while since a good battle has happened. Every battle since the battle with Kaido has kind of been like 2 pages and then it's over. Or they get, you know, knocked out by Stussy. Like, we had potential for a Brook versus Kaku fight that could have lasted an entire chapter and really put Brook over as a badass swordsman, but we decided not to do that, and Brook has barely been in this arc. I don't even know why they bothered giving Brook an outfit other than sell toys. I'm just a little disappointed with this arc at this point, and I know it's probably just the middle of this arc at this point because there's so many things still happening, so many mysteries that still need to be solved. And like I said, I think it's Shiryu that must be doing this. Somebody from Blackbeard's crew. I hope next week we get to see what Kizaru's doing. I hope we get to find out what Law's doing. But there's so many things going on. I don't know how this series is going to end anytime soon. And I hope it doesn't, because I absolutely adore One Piece. This is my favorite anime / manga of all time. And I want it to have every amazing arc possible. But I've also heard other One Piece YouTubers talk about once you've made it to the end of the series, you've caught up, you've binged your way to the end, you start to have issues with the following arc. Because you're just like, I can't just binge to the end and see the payoff for all these little mysteries that Oda's setting up. So by the time Egghead is over and I reread it, I might love it and love the pacing. It's just I have to go week after week after week. And in between, you know, I've been reading a lot of Hunter x Hunter lately, and it's so good. So good. I wouldn't say it's One Piece level greatness, but it's damn good story. Absolutely adoring it. Might review it here. I watched the anime, but now that I'm fully focused and reading the manga, I'm loving it. And I want to go back and reread, or I've never read the Yu Yu Hakusho manga, but it's the same artist. I think I'd like to read that at some point as well, even though I have watched the anime. And possibly review that. This is More Fanime. What did you think of 1075, the chapter that just dropped? Comment down below, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll talk to you later.